That's my daughter. When I first found out I was pregnant, I decided I wanted to have a daughter. And I told my husband if I didn't have a little girl, clearly that was grounds for divorce. And I wanted my daughter to be just like me. I wanted her to be a cheerleader who loved hanging out at the mall, getting mani-pedis, and listening to Barry White, the Supremes, and the Temptations. Well, the similarities started when she was born June 5th. Like me, she was a Gemini. And I remember thinking to myself, we're getting off to a pretty damn good start. And that is the last time I thought those words about my daughter. Because for the next few years, I was confronted with all the dissimilarities. Starting off, I discovered my daughter at the age of 1 week old was a projectile vomiter. That's when you burp them, they spill the milk halfway across the room. Well, we sure as hell didn't have this shit in common. I'd never seen anything like this in my life. So the next day, I rushed down to my pediatrician's office. Dr. Nakasone, when I burped Amber, she shot the milk halfway across the room. Well, Dr. Nakasone laughed. I'm glad he found me and Linda Blair amusing. He said, Freeman's son, baby, projectile vomiting, hit normal. Baby soon grow out of it. Normal. My daughter can knock the cat off the television at 500 feet. That shit ain't normal. But he was right. She did grow out of it. But not before she had baptized every single one of my friends in Similac. The next difference I noticed was her voice. It was a little deep. Now, I know that I have a deep voice, but I didn't start sounding like this till after puberty. It's one thing to sound like Barry White when you're an adult. It's something else when you got the voice of Barry White coming out of the mouth of a 6-month-old baby. Oh, mama, yeah. Give it to me, mama. I want it, yeah. Give me that bottle, mama, yeah. Let me tap that bottle, mama, yeah. I want it. I mean, her voice was extremely deep. Then a few years later, I noticed another difference in my daughter. She developed this weird fascination with insects. She started keeping them in rooms, in jars in her room. She started playing with them on the playground. On her bedroom wall, she didn't have posters of NSYNC, she had posters of insects. For Christmas, she told Santa, I want a book on bugs, and a stuffed shark, and a chili and rose hair tarantula. Now, here's the difference between me and my daughter. She loved bugs, and I couldn't stand them. Amber was born in Misawa, Japan, and they had these huge cockroaches that would fly straight at you. So I had to make it very clear to my daughter, don't bring no goddamn cockroaches in my house. What about a Madagascar hissing cockroach? They cool. If you bring the damn thing in my house, Amber Patrice Freeman, I promise you it will not be hissing for long. Now this bug phase of hers went on a really long time. And just when I thought I couldn't deal with one more damn bug, she came to me one day and she said, can I have an iguana? Yes! Thank you, Lord. Thank you. There's a God. Thank you. Mwah! Thank you. Yes! I was so goddamn happy she wasn't talking about bugs anymore. We went down to Petco the very next day and we got her first reptile. It was a green iguana that she named Icarus. Now, I gotta tell you, it took me a while to get adjusted to having a reptile in my house because, well, I'm black and we don't do reptiles. But my daughter, on the other hand, she took to raising them like she'd been doing it all of her life. And just when I got used to walking around the corner and seeing a lizard on my counter, she came to me and she asked, can I have a snake? Are you out of your goddamn mind? But I had learned from experience with Amber, the worst thing to do was to oppose it. So I knew with Amber, I would have to try a little psychology. I said, Amber, let me tell you this story. I just saw it on the news a couple of weeks ago. This woman had a snake, and this snake had started to sleeping in bed with her at night. And she thought it was cute that he was sleeping next to her to keep her warm. So a couple of weeks later, she took her dogs into the vet for a checkup, and she just happened to mention it. And the vet looked at her and he said, I am sending animal control out to your house. That snake's not sleeping next to you to keep you warm. He's sleeping next to you to see how big he needs to be to eat you. Snakes don't cuddle. So Amber, the moral of this story is, snakes are sneaky. No, I think the moral of the story is she's stupid. Anybody dumb enough to sleep in bed with a snake deserves to be eaten by that snake. I hope he ate her. Amber, that is not what he's saying. He's saying you got to understand the animal you had. You can't take chances with some of these animals. You take chances. You told Aunt Dorothy only white men are serial killers and you married a white man, so you take chances too. Well, we went down to Petco the next day and got her a ball python. She named him Apep. What I didn't know was that Icarus and Apep were just the beginning. I got a list here of all the animals she's had. I can't remember it because I'm over 40. But I'd like to read to you some of the animals that she's got. I love this. White people music, I think, yeah. She's had 4 green iguanas, 3 ball python snakes, yeah. 2 blue-headed tree iguanas, 2 giant African millipedes, love it. A Pac-Man frog, a Chilean rose-haired tarantula, meow. A white rat, a leopard gecko, a gecko. Yeah. A bearded dragon or water dragon. A scorpion, a bare-eyed cockatoo, yeah. A Pac-Man frog, and finally a blue-eyed rabbit. Now, I have to tell you guys, I was afraid of some of my daughter's animals. In particular, I was afraid of her tarantula, Anansi. She petrified the shit out of me. There was something, I don't know, sultry about the way Anansi walked. Very precise, very calculated. It made you forget she was a tarantula. She could hypnotize your ass. Oh yeah. The next thing you know, you watching the way she moved, and she done moved up on your ass and done bit you. Now you can't die from the venom, but it will fuck you up. Look at what the Kardashians have done to every man that they've been with, yeah. Lamar's a drugging. Bruce now thinks he's a woman. Now I heard a rumor, I don't know if it's true or not, but they said that Bruce's semen is now dust. He's not even shooting liquid. Kanye's ass better look out. Pretty soon they're gonna kick his black ass out of that web. You watch. Another one of her animals that frightened me was her riptar, her green iguana riptar. For some reason, that little bastard didn't like me. Every time I came near his cage, he would hiss at me. And if I got too close, he would take his little tail in the back, and the little fucker would try to hit me with his tail. And once he tried to bite me. And after about 3 months, I told my daughter, we're gonna take him back to Petco because just like Donald Trump, his ass is too wild to be domesticated. So I wasn't used to having exotics, but what I was used to having was dogs. We always had one around. And I was pretty cool with them until my Aunt Bernice's dog, Tommy, the Doberman Pinscher, turned on me one day in the backyard when I was about 10 years old. Hey, Bernice, Tommy, he straddled me and he tried to kill me, Bernice. He tried to kill me. I didn't try to bite that little bitch. She lied. I didn't straddle her. The last bitch I straddled was Mavis the Greyhound in 13th and Digger. And the reason why I was snapping at her face is because of the flies. So after that, I'm now afraid of dogs, which makes the next story I'm going to tell just slightly ironic to me. I lived in Japan for 6 years, and for the first 2 years I was there, I ate at this place called Charlie's Tacos. They had the best freaking goddamn tacos of any place I've ever eaten. So, you know how they say Kentucky Fried Chicken is finger looking good? Charlie's Tacos is the same. It's juicy and it's moist and the meat just melts in your mouth. So I go there one Friday night and Charlie's is boarded up. And I'm pissed because I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So there was a Japanese couple sitting on a bench and I approached them. I had my little, Japanese translator everywhere that I went. Hi, Dozo, hi, yes, Charlie's, Zuna Goji Naga Deska. I asked her why Charlie's was closed. Hi, Ineko Nako Honbastaimasu. What? Wait a minute, did you say they selling dog and cat meat? Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Another wa eigo shibaimasu? I asked her she's sure she understood English. Hi, professor at USC, African American Studies. Hi, dog. Yes, they closed Charlie's because they sell dog and cat. Oh, American upset. I know another place selling. Juicy, no? Is this bitch crazy? I've been snacking on red too.